Holy, just Jesus. I'm trying so hard not to swear. Oh my God. Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever applies to you. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Julia. I'm a contemporary singing specialist based in Australia. And today we are reacting to a subscriber request with arch enemy NEMESIS live in Tokyo with Angela as the vocalist. So without further ado, let's get into it. Holy. Oh my God. Holy moly. Her screams are so powerful. Like they're so full. Does that make sense? Oh my God. So far what I've heard with other female vocalists who use harsh vocals, I either hear something that sounds and feels like low and wide or very high and it cuts through the top, more like that fry scream sound. This is so full. It's like it's got the beef of something that is low and wide, but you've got those, how do I describe this? It's like it's got the higher frequencies in there as well. I would be super interested to know exactly what it is that she's doing because my brain hears the high stuff and goes, oh, she's doing fry scream. But there isn't those like little, it's almost like there's a little like crackly pop, like a popcorny sound in the fry scream. And I don't hear that in what she's doing. I also don't hear pitch from voiced pitch. I don't feel like I'm hearing any like singing pitches, as in like pitch from the vocal fold level. A lot of harsh vocals the pitch is controlled by the vocal tract. I explain a little bit more about that in one of my Halloween reactions, which if you can get past the costume, I explain in my Ice Nine Kills reaction a little bit about the shape and formants. It's like a less intense look at formant frequencies in that video compared to the in-depth sort of explanation of formants and harmonics and how those strengthen in my Unleash the Archers reaction. So you can go check that one out if you want. And the reason why that's important is because a lot of our harsh vocals don't use the vocal folds to create a pitch. It is controlled by the vocal tract. And so that's what I mean by I don't feel like I'm hearing any pitching from the vocal folds in her sound. And yet it is so full and there's so much. And I'm definitely hearing those higher frequencies, but I'm also feeling like the beef, the fullness from like some lower frequencies. So somehow she is strengthening those upper partials so it still cuts through, but we're not losing any of the like lower partials from the sound as well, which is insane because formant frequencies are from different spaces, so she must be strengthening those upper partials in one of the other resonating spaces within her vocal tract. Oh, wow. That's insane. So let's just strip it back. I feel like the sound that she's producing, if I just focus on the lower end, sound like it's a false fold sound. And for those upper partials, that fullness, what I said earlier is my closest hypothesis on something. There's something happening in there that she's also strengthening those upper partials without losing any of the mid to low sounds either. And that scream in the beginning on NEMESIS, are you kidding me? It sounded like a cougar was about to come and rip my face off. Wow. All right. So power. Spectrum of sound within the scream. Holy dooly. amazing. Oh my God. It's so much. I. Now that I'm listening a little bit further, I am feeling a little bit more confident about saying that's like a false fold scream. And I'm seeing her jaw move a lot more as she starts to go up in pitch. So as she does slide up in pitch, you can see that jaw open, which makes sense because if you open your jaw, you make the space behind the tongue smaller the more the jaw opens. The smaller that space at the back gets, which that's where the sound is amplifying and that's where those formant frequencies are coming from. So it would make sense for her to be opening that jaw as she's moving up in pitch because smaller spaces, higher pitch, bigger spaces, lower pitch. But yeah, so if we go back and we just watch, you'll see her jaw open as she slides up in pitch on those screams. She just looks like a complete badass too. I know that's completely unrelated, but she looks fit and strong and powerful, and gee whiz, does that like just culminate into an image of badassery. Oh my God. I still cannot get over how low and powerful that roar is. I really want to call it a roar because that's the feeling that it gives me because it's so full and just, oh, I'm being useless because I'm starting to go into fangirl mode, and that usually doesn't bode well for pedagogy, Julia. Anyway, so let's keep going. The cougar is back. Oh my God. I'm going to insert a cougar sound so you know exactly what I mean. Please, caption Julia. Facilitate my fangirling. Thank you. Do you see what I mean? The strength in those upper flippin' partials. It's not even a partial, it's performance. She's doing this with performance. It's so full. What the loving what's happening in the instruments there. Those two lines over the top of each other, they just made it sound really cool. It almost gave me like some Lydian vibes. We need to go back and re-listen to that. The scale work sounds so cool. I love that. I haven't finished the section yet, but I'm adoring that there's melody being carried in the instrumentation because you've got your screams, which the pitch of those screams is going to be restricted by what she can do with her pharynx, which from the sounds of things is a lot. She can do a lot with her pharynx because her screams are incredible. But now to balance all of the hectic, intense musical ideas from the beginning. We've got this beautiful, very melodic section of the song now. I want to go back and just listen to that change again because it's awesome. Oh, oh my God, that was so cool. Flippin' awesome. Oh my God. And sometimes with the screaming vocal delivery, you can lose words. I feel like she shapes her words so well. I'm trying so hard not to swear. That was so musically satisfying at the end there. It felt so uplifting. And then you unite that with those powerful screams again. Way to make people feel things. Jeez. Oh my goodness. That must have been amazing being in that crowd. I kind of got like a little girl crush going. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So there were no clean vocals in this particular song, and our melody component was being carried by the guitar. And I love that because that guitar was able to build back into a uniting moment. And I love that we had that there because the crowd were participating in on it. It almost gives us that little musical breather. I've explained this before. You need tension and release, and the better you can build that tension and cater to the release coming from it, the more musically satisfying it is going to be. This was very satisfying, having that build at the end there. I almost felt like I was in like a completely different emotional space when they shifted the tonality of the music, but also the rhythmic ideas. They just made this beautiful transition into something that was significantly more melodic and less intense and like crazy. I loved it. I loved it. All right, on to Angela's vocals. So because there weren't any clean vocals, sorry, it felt like Frank was running on my leg. Frank is the giant huntsman that lives down here. It wasn't. It was just my long cable just tickling the back of my calf muscle. Frank is somewhere else. Anyway, because there were no clean vocals, it means that I can't give you as much insight because the harsh vocals is still something that I am adjusting to, I am learning about, I'm listening to other people so that I can start to anticipate what differences the individual makes to a harsh vocal, but also what are some consistent tonalities across certain harsh vocal techniques, things you can use to identify. So for example, in this one, even though the high tonality is making me think fry scream, in other examples of fry scream, I have heard that little bit of breakage, snappy crackle. It's almost like there's static in the sound from the fry scream, and I don't hear that in hers. So I could be wrong. Perhaps she is using almost like a combo thing where there's a little bit of fry scream in the top there, but it doesn't feel like that for me. It feels dominantly like there's false fold screams occurring and that she must be strengthening the higher element of that sound in her pharynx some way, somehow. She's got a really, really full, powerful, incredible scream. So much power, so much depth. Sweet baby Jesus. She's amazing. Oh my God. Quick point. Her supporting muscles must be so strong. So strong because nowhere in her phrases did I hear sound dipping out. It didn't sound like she was pulling any punches or like clipping the ends of her phrases off because she was running out of air. Like that was just tank mode from start to finish. What an absolute monster. This was really cool. Loved the musical ideas. just a few hints within the guitar work, just little hints of like scale work and then changes within the rhythms. Oh, wow, this was engaging. It's just, I'm gonna have to leave it there. I've got nothing else that I can possibly add onto her harsh vocals. If you've watched my other videos, you know how she's creating those pitch changes within her pharynx. We saw that jaw opening in places. It's just incredible the amount of power she is getting out of her sound, which will require her support to be rock solid. Rock solid. And it looks like she is. She looks fit and incredible and powerful while she's up there. Her stage presence and persona, there is no way you could ignore her. That's like just raw performance. Raw performance power right there. I couldn't stop smiling looking at her, just being like, ugh. That was amazing. Thank you so much for suggesting this. This was a subscriber suggestion, by the way, that was like, react to Arch Enemy Nemesis. You have to listen to Angela. You were right. I had to listen to Angela, and I'm so glad I had, because now she's going to be a reference point for when I listen to other female vocalists who use those harsh vocals, in particular the false fold scream, because I'm still leaning more towards that as being how I feel she is creating this incredible, intense vocal sound. That's where I'm leaning towards. She's going to be my reference point for when I listen to other female vocalists for sure. And I've mentioned before, your own individual anatomy will play a part in how low certain sounds can get. Male vocalists have a longer pharynx than female vocalists because their larynxes tend to drop a little bit lower. That was mad. That was incredible. Wow. All right. Thank you so much for joining me on this one today, guys. I super appreciate it. I hope that you enjoyed this one as much as I did. That was amazing. If you did, be sure to give it a like, click the subscribe button and the bell notification beside it for more just like this one. As usual, I hope you are staying safe. I hope you are staying healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.